Hello, and welcome to another Win Daily Sports Show. My name is Michael. I got my man Stoweby here with me today, and we are talking Thursday Night Showdown Throwdown. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. Should be a fun game. I'm the biggest Gardner Minshew fan. You'll hear me talk about it all day. I think that guy is incredible. I don't know, though. This game is weird. It started as a pick 'em, moved to a -3 to the Jags. If the Jags are giving points, it's really difficult to take them. It's really difficult to take them. But the over-under moved up as well. I think it started at 44. Now we're up to about 47,
40,
48.
48,
I'm
48
like,
at the last I checked,
yeah,
48 and a half.
it's getting crazy. But Stoby, how you doing today, man? Are you excited?
Hey, I'm still kicking, man. Every day with football is a great day. I
Every
won't
day.
complain.
Every day of football, we got Thursdays, we got Saturdays, we have Sundays, we have Mondays. Maction might come back. Cross your fingers, everybody. We might get a little Maction later on this year. So that's our Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And so we'll pretty much be good to go from there. So Stoby is going to be here. We're going to be breaking down the DraftKings slate a little bit, talking captains, talking showdown, talking salary construction. But I know you're a smart dude, much smarter than I, Stoby. So I want to hear your take. What you've seen from these two teams so far. Sia and I and Nick were talking about it on the betting show, which you can listen to on the podcast as well. A lot of these first 2 weeks, huge amounts of overreaction. And Sia's like, hey, let's take 40% of what we thought and 60% of what we know, right? Like, don't go crazy, right? Gardner Minshew is not going to complete 19 out of 20 every game. He's probably not going to throw for 3 touchdowns and 300 whatever yards. How do you see this game going from what we've seen so far from these two teams, and understanding that Miami defense is not great and also extremely hurt?
And I think C is right on the money with that as far as Minshew goes. He's probably somewhere in the middle. But as bad as the Miami defense is, I specifically watched that game and watched the tape again today just to kind of take a look at it. And they are impressively bad. Like it is, they run a scheme that does not fit their personnel. And like you said, you got a bunch of injuries now. And I just see the outside receivers just absolutely just picking the Dolphins apart tonight. So I think Minshew is in store for another good game tonight.
I love it. You're speaking my language, man. You're speaking my language. So let us get to it. Let's bring up nope, I still want Stoby. There we go. Let's bring up this DraftKings slate here. So as we understand with DraftKings, we usually go over DraftKings because FanDuel, if you want to play the captain spot, you just put the best person there because you don't really have to worry too hard about it. But over here on DraftKings, it's 1.5 times the fantasy points, and it is also 1.5 times the salary. So I think that's something very important to understand. Usually the quarterbacks are going to be up there, but there's a lot of different guys we can slot in. Ghost and I were just talking yesterday on the NBA stream. We threw Tyler Hero in there. That dude went off. So shout out Ghost. If you're listening, we always appreciate and love the hell out of you.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he did. Yeah, I heard that conversation. He nailed that one.
That was a fun one. Ghost always nails it. He knows what he's doing. So I'm hoping tonight, Stoby, that you are going to nail it, my man. You are going to nail it. So talk to me a little bit. I mean, we usually love to go these quarterbacks. As you said, you think Minshew's going to have a good game. He's not priced up as high as most quarterbacks would be in this type of situation, especially considering what we've seen in the past. I guess considering that game script you were telling me before, you think it's going to go over. You think we're going to have a shootout. If all these Thursday night games could be shootouts, by the way, I'll be way happier. That Cleveland Cincinnati game was awesome. I'm hoping for the same here. So talk to me a little bit. Battle of mostly Florida. How do you see this game going, and where do you really like to look for that captain spot?
Well, today I think I'm going to be looking at the wide receivers today as far as for me personally from my GPP captains. Now, like we've already talked about before, you don't want to just do one lineup. So you're going to want to put several lineups in. You're going to want your quarterbacks in. You're going to want to go ahead and get Robinson in, get him in your captain spot as well, some for the running back position. But I like to target the wide receivers for your captain spots on these showdown slates. They always seem to be a little bit lower owned. So and they have the ability, if they end up being the target that gets locked in on, they just end up going off and blowing up the slate.
I do love that. And one, just some news and notes, if anybody wasn't paying attention, DJ Chark is actually out for this game. So that bumps up. I mean, he is the most expensive wide receiver on the slate, fourth most expensive, third if you take out Tua for some reason, who is there. But he is pretty much the third most expensive player on this slate, right above Devontae Parker. So there is a significant drop off from DJ Chark to the next Jacksonville wide receiver. We have Laviska Shenault at 9,900 at the captain spot, meaning that's 1.5 times the salary. So which side do you like more for the wide receivers? Are you leaning a little bit more towards Miami, or does that DJ Chark news kind of push you a little bit more towards the Jaguars?
The chart news pushes me towards the Jaguars just on the price per dollar. It's that combined with the weak secondary of Miami that kind of locks me into the wide receivers on the Jaguar side. I like Chenault, I like Conley, and who else we got? Who's our third?
Keelan Cole.
Keelan Cole. Keelan Cole's going to be he's going to be an interesting target, especially at that price. They still don't respect him enough. I mean, he's had 2 really good weeks. It's obvious that he's part of the offense now. I mean,
Yeah,
it's clear.
It's pretty impressive. He is absolutely a part of the offense, and especially, I mean, he's always been a part of the offense. It's been really weird. I don't know. Jaguars found like him and Allen Hurns around the same time, and they both kind of were really good, like a really weird way. Keelan Cole made me some money a couple years ago in season long. I do think with that Chark news, if anyone was on Chark, it's a really easy opportunity to hop down to James Robinson, as you were saying, and even easier to get to Laviska Shenault. I don't know if you have ownership numbers in front of you, but what do you think Shenault will look like, especially in these GPPs in that captain spot?
Chenault is, I think he's going to be pretty popular as far as the wide receivers go. He's probably going to be the most popular wide receiver in the captain spot. But typically, from what I have seen, the captain ownership is always a little underwhelming as far as wide receivers go. People like the quarterbacks, they like that touchdown equity, they like the running backs, they like the consistent touches. So the wide receivers do tend to go a little bit lower owned. So I don't mind Shenault, even if he will be the highest wide receiver on that captain spot tonight.
Yeah, and one interesting thing about Shenault, if you watched any of his games at Colorado the last couple years, or even I think the last game, he gets a couple touches as a running back. They're gonna hand him the ball off. It's either a jet sweep, they're gonna do something funny, they're gonna get the ball in his hands because the dude's electric. He is so much fun. Again, if you haven't watched some of his tape from Colorado, just go look it up on YouTube. I'm sure there's a highlight reel out there. Dude was nuts. He was so much fun. So let's roll with it. Let's throw Laviska Shenault in there. I mean, if you're putting Laviska Shenault at your captain spot, it's kind of hard to not go Gardner Minshew, right? In one of those flex spots. And because you paid down for your captain, makes it a lot easier to fit Gardner Minshew in there at 11K rather than whatever he was over at the captain spot, $15,000, $16,000. So if we're going to go Shenault, we're going to go Minshew. Where are you looking? Are you looking to grab another wide receiver? Are you looking James Robinson to make sure you have all of those touchdowns on the Jags side? Or do you want to hop over to the Dolphins side to start building out the other side of this equation?
I want to go ahead and hop on to the other side. Like I said, we're going to be I feel like we're going to have an over game here tonight. I don't think either team plays defense particularly well, and with the injuries, they're just going to be slinging it. I mean, I think, how many times did Minshew throw it last week?
It was insane.
Both of them, Fitzpatrick and him both threw it, 40 times. So I have no problems just go ahead and playing for a shootout here. And the guy that I actually like, and we were talking about it before the show, I'm going to show my homerism a little bit. I'm a Virginia Tech fan. And I've absolutely loved Isaiah Ford from the minute he went in the NFL. He has some of the surest hands. He runs some of the most fantastic routes, and he's finally getting his opportunity out there on the field. He's in the last 2 games, he's had 74% and 64% of the snap share, and he's still got that 64% with Devontae Parker playing. Mm-hmm. So he's still on the field plenty as the number 3. So I have no concerns, and it looks like Fitzpatrick is starting to warm up to him a little bit.
Yes, and for anybody out there listening, you're welcome. Sticks Picks, the 80 model, he wants us to take the over 3.5 receptions on Isaiah Ford. If you have FanDuel or one of the affiliates of FanDuel that you can go bet on, go bet that now. Just 1 unit, nothing crazy. We're here to have fun. But go bet that right now. So you're welcome. That's your free pick for the night. Let Sticks take you to the bank. That's what we're always here for. I told that to Stoweby before we got on. He got all excited. So thought I'd tell everybody out here as well. So appreciate it.
Well, we would have nailed that. We would have nailed the AJ pick last week had he not dropped everything that got thrown to him.
Yes, if he had 15.
13 targets? It was 13 or 15. He only caught 4 and 4.5 was what we wanted.
Gotta love lines, man. Vegas knows something we don't, and I think it's friggin' impressive. So looking at it here, obviously we can't give you a whole lineup, guys. Come on, where's the fun in that? But looking at this here, I mean, if you go Shenault in that captain spot, you have to then obviously grab Minshew. You take Fitzpatrick because we think this is going to be a shootout. So then you also add in Isaiah Ford as a little bit of salary savers. And looking here, I mean, you can essentially grab anybody else you want at this point. You
Mhm,
can grab
mhm.
James Robinson, and you really just can't grab Devontae Parker and James Robinson. Everybody else is completely available at that point. So
That'll be really chalk.
exactly. So I think that part is very important. I think that's the most like is you can fit anyone you want, and we always suggest leave money on the table. You have to get different, and that's a way to do it. Make sure that everybody doesn't have the same lineup. Where's the fun? If you're splitting $10,000 with 15, well, okay, that's actually not that bad. With 100 people, it's not really that great in that case. You're not really doing too much. So leave some money on the table. As Stoweby was saying before, we're making 10 lineups. So if you have $10, put 10 $1 lineups in. You have 100, put 10 $10 lineups in there. Sia's my math guy. I'm sorry, guys. You all know that by now. But in this case, oh, here we go. We actually have a question. Eifert or O'Shaughnessy for some of these bigger GPPs. How do you feel about that?
Actually, if Eifert is healthy, I really like
Whoa,
him.
whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
You can't
What?
say
What?
if
What?
Eifert is healthy. The dude hasn't been healthy my entire life. So
Exactly. That's a
come on,
big if. Now,
come on.
it's the same conversation we had about Will Fuller in that first week. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I mean, take advantage of him early. He's still talented. He's just brittle. So I would like to have a little bit of Eifert tonight.
Yeah, I actually was. I made a. There is a free contest. Well, I forgot to mention windailysports.com/DK. We, Win Daily Sports, are running a free roll on DraftKings, which I think is very important. You can go over there. Top 50 prizes win Win Daily Sports memberships. Number one prize, you get a lifetime membership to windailysports.com. Gold membership. You get everything you want. All our projections, all of our articles, all of our expert chat, which is my favorite part. And you also get an interview with Sia and Jason live on Win Daily Sports Fantasy Sports Radio on Sirius XM. I think I messed that up a little bit, but everybody understands what I was trying to say. Interview with Sia and Jason on Sirius Sports XM, Fantasy Sports XM, our channel, our show. My goodness, I can't figure that part out. Again, you guys should be able to figure it out by there. So I just think it. And oh no, Rich Masana just jinxed you, Stoweby. Sorry about that, buddy. But I do think Eifert is an interesting play. I'm pretty sure he's caught touchdown passes the last 2 weeks now. So, obviously Minshew is looking at him. Minshew did like the tight ends last year as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that
Mhm.
that's definitely a spot to go. And yeah, if he's healthy now, you have to play him now. The only thing that can go wrong is if he gets hurt in this game, which is pretty unfortunate. So I think that part is interesting. Robert Smith, is Westbrook active? That's a good question. I
I
don't.
didn't see anything on Westbrook. I
Yeah,
think he's full blown in the doghouse. I think they're looking to trade him.
yeah.
To be quite honest, because he was a healthy scratch in week one. So
Yeah.
whatever's going on, it is not health related.
Yeah,
He is.
exactly. It's
He,
just unfortunate. Yeah.
yeah, he's extremely talented, but I think he's on the way out the door. They're just trying to find a partner.
Yeah. And even with DJ Chark, I mean, it's a solid idea, Robert. I appreciate the question. I think that is interesting. Maybe again, it's a showdown slate. You got to get weird. You got to get wacky. If you want, throw him in for $200 on one of those lineups. But I don't think, man. I don't think it's gonna happen. A lot of salary savings though. Can tell you that much right now. You would definitely hit value if he gets one catch for like 10 yards, maybe. I think you really crush the value there. So this is a little bit of a lineup again. You go Chenault and you can throw Isaiah Ford in there as a nice salary saver. You can pretty much do whatever you want with getting those two quarterbacks in. Let's do a little bit different. Let's kind of make it difficult on you. Let's say we do go. You're loving which quarterback do you like a little bit more tonight? I gotta ask.
I like Minshew more because even with the spy, they still were not able to do anything to stop Allen with the run. That cover one man just doesn't fit what they have right now. And if they're going to run it again today, Minshew's going to have a big game.
I like that. So we're gonna throw Minshew up in the captain spot. We're gonna make this build a little bit more difficult for you. So now if we throw Minshew in there, we have 6,700 per player left. You throw Ryan Fitzpatrick in there, you're really gonna start having to dig down deep, even if we do go grab someone like Isaiah Ford. So if again you're making a few different lineups, I'm sure one of your builds is gonna start with Minshew at the captain spot. Where do you then want to go here to make sure that you can fit enough of what you want in there?
We can go ahead. Let's go ahead and scroll down just a touch and take a look. Let's go ahead and put Keelan Cole in there.
Nice. Okay. Keelan Cole's
Okay.
looked pretty. He's caught a couple touchdowns this year already, right?
And I mean, his target share is going to go up this week. There's no way he can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then let's go ahead and let's get a little funky here.
Mm,
Let's go ahead and run the let's go ahead and run the Jaguars defense, because Fitzpatrick can throw for 303 touchdowns, but he can also throw for 175 yards and 4 interceptions and 2 fumbles in the blink of an eye, and he can do it in a quarter. So
mm.
the Jaguars defense is not a terrible idea tonight to go ahead and put in 1 or 2 of your lineups.
I like that. So with a build like this, we're looking at the game script. We're gonna assume that the Dolphins, Fitzpatrick is gonna be bad. He's gonna throw a couple picks. So either this means the Jags defense is just great and they're holding everything down, which we don't think is really gonna happen. Let's be honest. I think it's more of that turnover luck. So from this standpoint, would this be where maybe rather than grabbing Fitzpatrick, who we don't think is going to be very good, but they're going to be down in that fourth quarter, assuming, again, this game script happens. So which of the Dolphins wide receivers are you going to try and grab here to make sure that, again, if they're going to have to sling the ball that entire second half, where do you like to go with the Dolphins wide receivers, and why is it Mike Gesicki? I guess that's the real question. Why is it Mike
You didn't even need to ask me about that. I mean, it is Gesicki. I've been a Gesicki truther for way longer than I care to admit. It took him a little while longer to get his feet under him, but I mean, he is obviously an absolute monster. So Gesicki is my guy. He's the safety blanket. He can run any route. He can out physical pretty much anybody. He's faster than your linebackers. He's more physical than your cornerbacks. There's not anybody that's going to be able to cover him.
I love that. And then there again with this build, you still have 7150 per player. You got a couple players left. Like if you do want to go James Robinson there, you can go. And we already talked about Isaiah Ford. If you don't want to go James Robinson, which I probably suggest, because again, if we think that the Jaguars are going to start blowing them out early, they're going to need to run the ball late. So again, we have to pay attention to the game script and how we think these things are going to go through. So I would say probably throw in James Robinson and then go dumpster diving a little bit more. Maybe another one of the Dolphins wide receivers. Maybe your hokey, Isaiah Ford. Again, over 3.5 receptions. FanDuel, bet it now. Let's go. Let's all win some money together. So this, again, we can't give you everything. We like to break down a bunch of these players for you and understand. We do have a free article up on windailysports.com that was done by Antonio. So he has a nice little breakdown, a nice little player pool that we're talking about. If we went through all of it, we'd be here up until lock. And I want to eat dinner, and I'm sure Stoweby has things. He has a family too. I think that's important. But also, again, let me say it one more time: windailysports.com/DK, lowercase d, lowercase k. It's a little confusing.
We're up to 12,000 entries right now.
Look at that. We are crushing it. We have a free roll. We partnered with DraftKings. We have a free roll. Top 50 spots get Win Daily Sports memberships. The number one spot, let's see if I can get it this time, lifetime membership to windailysports.com. And they come on Sirius, our Sirius XM radio show, from 11 to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. It's going to be an interview with Sia Nejad and Jason Mizrahi talking about how they kick the crap out of all of us. And we work for the company, which makes it even funnier. So I think it's great. Again, it's a free roll. Get in there. Have fun. If you're one of those top 50 spots and you're already here, we'll add on to your membership. Don't worry about it. We love you all. We do this for you. So in that case, let us move on. So we always like to talk about some of our other partners, right? They're fun. They're interesting. Prop bets are fun. We're literally talking about them right now, right? So we do have a partner, Monkey Knife Ed, as many of you know. They're good friends of ours, so let's bring them up. What we do is you can go to monkeyknifefight.com, use promo code WINDAILY, put in $50. They give you a free $50, and then we give you 3 months free to windailysports.com. Unless you're that lifetime winner and that other thing, which again, we already have 12,000 people in this contest, so you're going to have to be really good next weekend or this weekend. But go to monkeyknifefight.com. Somebody's going to win it. Somebody has to win it. I wonder what happens if we tie. I'm curious.
We have tiebreaker rules in the in the event. Yep.
Yeah, I did not look far enough. Sorry, guys. It's like my job to look at that stuff, and I didn't even look that far. I just put it on. No, go to monkeyknifefight.com. Use promo code WINDAILY. They give you a free matching bonus up to $50. You play this, which Stoby's going to lock for you right now. You're going to win money on it. And then you also get 3 months free to windailysports.com. I think it is a literal no-brainer, because then we're going to continue to make you money on Monkey Knife Fight picks. We're going to continue to make you money on DFS plays. We have our friends over at Thrive. We have prop bets that we keep putting out there. Again, over 3.5 on Isaiah Ford's receptions. I'm going to say it a lot tonight, guys. Just take it and win the money with us. So, Stoby, you thought this was going to be a shootout. We're looking at it right now. Fitzpatrick, 275.5. Minshew, 269. Nice and a half. How do you see? I'm assuming we're just smashing and hammering the over here, right?
Oh, absolutely. I have no problems with it at all. I mean, Minshew, even against a down tempo, even though the Titans haven't been playing the same type of ball as they were last year when they were successful, they are still a pace down team, and he still threw for 339. And Fitzpatrick, it doesn't matter how many picks he throws, he's going to sling it. And last week against the Bills, he threw for 328 and two.
Mm.
So I have no reason to think with these two defenses that any of them are going to have a problem with that.
Yeah, with
I think this is easy.
with it. Once you say
I'm,
that word, man.
I
Once you
know,
say
I
that
know.
word, come on.
I mean, I'm my bad. Knock on wood,
Yeah,
but
no.
I wouldn't be shocked if both guys went over on this
Yes, and
relatively easily.
you put in $10. You put in the 50 that they give you for free because you use promo code WinDaily. You 3 times your buy-in. So you put in $50, you turn it into 150. So you put in $50, you got $50. You then take that extra $50, turn it into 150. So now you're up to 200. You then get $90 free to Win Daily Sports because that's 3 months worth of our gold membership. We just gave you $300. And then, as I said, one more time for the people in the back, over 3.5 receptions on Isaiah Ford's prop over at FanDuel. It's plus money. It is plus money. Just take it. Look at that. I just made you I don't know what your units are, but let's call it $1 million. I don't know, whatever unit you like to choose. Let's call it that, right? So we're here to help. We're here to make you money. We're here to have some fun while we're doing it. And we appreciate the hell out of you guys. WinDailySports.com/DK, free roll, top 50, number 1, lifetime, and an interview with Cia and Jason on our SiriusXM show. Win Daily Sport. Oh, no. Here we go. MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Promo code WinDaily. 50 free dollars matching bonus and 3 months free to Win Daily Sports. We're just trying to give everything away. And over 3.5. Last time I'm going to say it, over 3.5 on Isaiah Ford's receptions. Stoweby, where can everybody find you on the internet?
At Stoweby on Twitter, David Stowe on Facebook if you still use that, and I live and breathe Discord. I'm there 24/7. You can ask anybody in there. I pretty much stay in that place.
It is real. Oh, we have one last question before we get to it. Rich is a good member here. He's a part of the family right here. Which QB has the cooler, let's call it facial hair? Which do you think?
I'm, and it's out of a little bit of jealousy. I'm one of those guys, like Fitzpatrick said, I've got a little bit of the patchy side, so I'm a little bit jealous of that beard. So I'm going to have to go with the beard on that one. The trucker stash is it's solid, but I'm a little bit jealous of Mr. Fitzpatrick. So I'm gonna have to go with him on that one.
I'm glad you went there because I mean I have a beard. It's solid. I have a
It's
solid
better than
beard.
mine. It's better than mine.
I'm not angry about it, but
I get this right here. That's about all I got.
hey man, you can rock it. I'll give you that. Not too many people can, and you can rock it. So keep doing your thing. But I will have to say it is without a question Gardner Minshew's mustache. I mean, and I think it's more than the mustache. It's also the hair. I feel like his hair and his mustache all flow like they're just constantly in the water. Just constantly, the water's just washing over him and just looks so glistening and perfect and fantastic. And I miss my mustache because I'm not allowed to have one anymore because I'm married. But I loved it. It was absolutely incredible. So those were the days, man. It was like,
oh yeah,
but those were the days. But you can find me at Michael Raziel1 on Twitter. Make sure to find us at Win Daily Sports. Post all the articles up there, all the free ones, all the paid ones, all the projections, everything that you guys need. Again, we have a free showdown article tonight. So if you liked what we heard, you heard here, but you want a little bit more in depth, go there. Antonio did a great job. WinDailySports.com/DK, our free roll for week 3 in the NFL. I'm not going to go over the prizes again because I'm probably just going to mess it up. But we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for the questions. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Stoweby, for myself, for everybody here at the Win Daily Sports family. We hope you make it a very profitable week 3 in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.